Hey everybody, Life of Z Hat. This is Z Hat. Please give me a like and a subscribe and stay tuned in for some more content. I know the videos are a little bit rough, but I'm just trying to get the message out. So as I grow, we grow. So I'll continue to have better content, better camera equipment, editing, yada yada yada, so on. But anyways, today we are talking about Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Now, this place freaks me out. Like, I'm actually getting ready to go do a haunted tour, probably within the next month or so. I'm going to go down. It's about 2 hours from where I live, so I'm pretty excited about it. I've wanted to see this place for years. I mean, as long as I can remember. It's been on, all the like Discovery Channel shows, the Travel Channel shows. I've seen quite a lot of YouTubers go there too. It's a really, I mean, just the building alone is intimidating. But anyways, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history and backlog on the place because actually while I was looking all this stuff up, a lot of information that I didn't know anything about was divulged to me. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of the background and stuff, and yeah, I hope you guys like the video. Anyways, in 1883, it was bought by Major Thomas Hayes. Mr. Thomas Hayes had two daughters. So, being the good father that he was, he wanted to have a schoolhouse for his two daughters. So he built a one-room schoolhouse on what would be known as Waverly Hills now, and he employed a teacher there. This teacher actually liked the Waverly novels, and they decided, Mr. Thomas Hayes decided, hey, I mean, that name sounds really peaceful. Why don't we call the place Waverly Hills? I mean, it does sound pretty peaceful to me, but anyways, so not a whole lot went on while Mr. Thomas Hayes owned it. Really, there's not a whole lot known about like him owning it. All that I know was how Waverly Hills got its name. In I believe it was like 1905, he sold it to developers, which then resold and resold. And then finally, on July 26, 1910, Waverly Hills opened its doors. In 1926, they had to have like few building renovations. They needed to expand on the land. Tuberculosis back in the day was, I mean, it was like COVID on steroids, basically. But a lot of people were dying, and they needed a place to be able to bring all these people that have tuberculosis. So they went on and expanded a little bit. Really after that, like, I mean, Waverly Hills, like, it was pretty independent. It had its own post office, own firehouse. They grew their own food, had their own cattle. Like, it was basically like its own little town. So, to me, that's kind of like secretive and kind of sketchy as is. That's a little strange. But, while all this is going on, under the secretive people of Waverly Hills, they were trying electroshock therapy, which was done on the first floor, which also the first floor holds a morgue, which I'll get to that later. And they just all the stuff they were doing was really inhumane stuff, like removing people's ribs to let their lungs be able to expand more, like just some really horrific stuff. So in 1961, Waverly Hills closed its door, only to reopen a year later. Once they reopened, a year later, it had changed its name to Woodhaven. And actually, this was a facility for people with, it was a geriatric facility, but it was for people with advanced dementia and that were severely handicapped. In 1982 is when Waverly Hills closed its doors for good. After that, I believe it's the same owner, has just had ghost tours and stuff like that. There hasn't been anything else that has reopened in its spot. You know, so when it was Woodhaven, there was a lot of like patient mishandling and just a lot of bad stuff going on. So that's why it had to close its door. Death happened so often at Waverly Hills that they had to have a 500-foot body chute from below the facility to shoot out. Like it's out further on the compound, but this is where a lot of people see the most. But like that's where to me it's terrifying. Like the chute is, it looks, yeah, like your worst nightmares basically. But a lot of people have seen, heard, felt a lot of activity down in the chute. The morgue on the first floor is said to be another one of the hot spots where a lot of ghosts come to, and a lot of people pick up like EVP readings, and just there's like just a weird feeling of dread around the whole area. On the third floor, a homeless guy and his dog fell through the elevator shaft. Some people think he was pushed, but that's never been certified that that's the truth or not. Also on the third floor, there's a little ghost of Timmy, who's gotten kind of famous, who likes rubber balls, and he like balls are seen to be rolling on their own, or like people can hear echoed voices and stuff like that up on the third floor. But room 502 is said to be the scariest. There happened to be two women that they say had off themselves up there, and also on the fifth floor, that was for people that were considered insane. So, I mean, you just imagine, an insane person now, imagine like 10 of them, or 20 or 30 or 40, that alone creeps me out. But, how many places did Waverly Hills, have come through its doors? Nobody knows. They say it's in the tens of thousands of people that have lost their lives there. Yeah, I mean, this is popping up more and more nowadays. Like the mishandling of people that are mental health patients and stuff like that. So, it's kind of scary what some of these hospitals have done to people. I'm not talking about, your regular hospital, but, mental hospitals and stuff, it's really pretty sad because a lot of these people are in need, and, I'm sure they went there to get help, or their families put them there to get help. And it's really sad what, has happened to a lot of these people. The two scariest ghosts of Waverly Hills are this ghost of this elderly woman who was seen with her hands are shackled down to her feet, and she's all bloody, and yeah, I mean, that just freaks me out just even hearing about that. And then there is what people have called the creeper. Now the creeper walks on all fours, and he scales the walls, the floors, the ceilings, and like I said before, everybody feels like a feeling of dread or doom when they step foot on the property, but that's intensified whenever the creeper is around. So to me, you know, Waverly Hills is a creepy place, but I'm definitely not trying to get caught by the creeper. That does not seem like a guy I want to run to in a pitch dark room. So, yeah, I hope you guys like my content. I'll be sharing more. Forgive me, this is only my first video, so, it's a little rocky, but bear with me. I hope you guys like the content. I spent a while working on it and looking up all this stuff. If there's anything you guys would like me to post or make a video of or whatever, just leave me a comment. Let me know what it is, and I'll do some research. I've really been looking into Lovelock Cave and a couple other places that have been really interesting to me over the years. So I hope you guys are having a good one. Bye.